in the state of New York, including the New York Penn Blood Service region. Our volunteers comprise over 95% of our workforce, making our organization efficient and cost-effective, and an average of 91 cents to every dollar the Red Cross spends is invested in humanitarian services and programs. At the state level, the Red Cross is the only nonprofit agency that is a member of the State Disaster Preparedness Commission. The State Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan assigns the Red Cross a major role in feeding and sheltering disaster victims. The Red Cross is also the only nonprofit organization chartered by Congress to provide disaster relief, yet our chapters do not receive any federal funding. We are the first official unfunded mandate that I think Congress ever set forth. In every corner of our state, the Red Cross immediately responds to disasters whenever they occur. No other nonprofit organization in the state has our capability to mobilize resources in a moment's notice to meet the needs of New Yorkers during disasters. Bringing it home to Westchester County, since our fiscal year, which always begins July 1st, so that's when we start counting the number of disasters that we serve, we have responded to 63 fires, assisting 104 families, helping them become survivors of disasters as quickly as possible. The fire Tuesday night in Portchester was our 63rd fire. That's a 14% increase from where we were last year at this time, and what we're continuing to see over and over again is when we respond to fires at a 2-family, 3-family home, 6 or 7 families are living there. So not only are we responding to more disasters, but we're serving more people as well. Our mission is to provide relief to New Yorkers whose lives have been affected by 3,920 disasters. That's nearly 11 a day throughout New York State. And to help people prevent, prepare for, and respond to emergencies. Last year alone, the Red Cross spent almost $3.3 million on direct disaster response, temporary housing, food, and financial assistance. And the American Red Cross in New York State needs to ensure that our chapters are properly prepared to meet the needs of the communities we serve in every way, shape, and form. Last year, New York State, with the help from funding secured through the executive budget, provided the Red Cross with $3.3 million. With this funding, we were able to, among other things, train 589,177 people in CPR, first aid, how to use an automated external defibrillator, train all the lifeguards throughout the state, and other life-saving skills. We also trained 152 people in emergency preparedness through our community disaster education programs, and we collected approximately 40,000 units of blood, providing 120 hospitals with 740,000 blood products. Now, as we find our state continuing to face serious economic challenges, all of us who work for the Red Cross across New York State appreciate that in the executive's proposed 2011-2012 state budget, the American Red Cross $3.3 million has remained in place. The $3.3 million allocation will help Red Cross chapters throughout the state have the resources for their local disaster response programs, their citizen preparedness and readiness programs, and our blood service programs. For the American Red Cross in Westchester County, we will receive $138,000 from that allocation, which will help us continue to be able to deliver our services to the residents of Westchester County. The other thing that I want to stress, Assemblyman Castelli, is that all of the Red Cross chapters during these tough economic times have tried to downsize. We have had to make some very tough decisions in Westchester County. We've had to lay off 6 full-time employees. And when you work for a not-for-profit, as some of my colleagues know, you don't want to lay off anybody because they're not working for a high salary. They're working because they have a passion for the organization that they're members of. But we've had to make those tough decisions. As an organization, we're going to continue to regionalize our services to hopefully bring down cost. But the allocations that we would receive from this $3.3 million portion for Westchester County, as well as the other 30 chapters, is critical for us so that we can continue to deliver our services. Some of my colleagues at the Red Cross said, well, we should ask for more. But when the day of the executive budget came out and we saw that we were held harmless, so to speak, my recommendation, and will continue to be my recommendation during this process, is that we just urge our members of our delegation to just keep us where we are. Fight where we are. In a perfect world, we would ask for more money, but as you know, in dealing with every day, this is not the best time to even think about that. So we are going to ask the State Senate and the State Assembly to continue to support the governor's executive budget and keep our $3.3 million for all 31 chapters across New York State. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I also compliment you on the work of the Red Cross. From the time I was a 17-year-old soldier through all my time in the state police, I have seen the Red Cross in work both on my behalf and behalf of all the people who I have served and who I've taken care of in those various capacities. And I have to take my hat off to you. You guys do fabulous work. So
Thank you.
I thank you, and I will fight to keep your funding.
Thank you.